Hey, welcome to Color Up. I'm here at Casino Quest, and we've been working on this awesome new series. If you love the game of dice like I do, we cover everything there is to know about dice with David, the master. We cover just all kinds of stuff, so make sure to subscribe to Casino Quest. We're gonna alternate these videos, so one week they're gonna be on mine, next week they're gonna be in Casino Quest. You wanna be subscribed to both of us. We'll go ahead and put a link to the playlist down below, but definitely this is a series you don't wanna miss.
So now we're gonna go over put bets, another specialty bet. It's amazing, believe it or not, I've had this discussion with some supervisors that put bet's not a thing because they don't understand it as a thing. So I'm gonna make this very simple for everybody, okay?
I get a lot of questions from it because there's a guy who's famous on YouTube for making put bets, for making larger put bets. But
so here, we're gonna compare them, puts to place bets, put to place, okay? Because that's usually the people, do I put or do I place? When is it a benefit to me? And where do I transition? Okay, so as a dealer, let's say, for example, someone is a comeback. Let's say I'm gonna just do it for you, okay? Because you're the only player here, okay? Easy. Let's say you already have a 6 and 8, and you know it's a $5 table, and you're a double odds player, so you got 5 with 10 odds, easy, okay? And that's, by the way, that's still standard. As you know, as much as you can take 5 times odds, a lot of people don't want to afford 5 times odds, but they want to take advantage of the odds, okay? Now let's say, for example, okay, I'm going to cover a few different scenarios, all right? And then I'm going to explain why all those supervisors or people not taking put bets are literally like just losing it, okay? All right, so we got a $5 come bet coming. Let's say now this pays $17 off and on, okay? Off and on meaning you have the same bet flat here, pays $17. Now, let's say you say to me, you know what, dealer? I want to go to $10 flat. I want to I forgot to increase my come bet. As a dealer here in Vegas, I'm gonna say, absolutely, sir. How much would you like? Okay. So let's say, you know what? You took this money and say, you know what? I want to go to $10 flat and just use everything for odds. And I'm gonna go like this. Put this here, okay, $10 flat and use everything for odds. That's a put bet. I have changed the flat bet, created a new come bet. You only needed to have $5 there. Actually, you could have taken it all down, by the way, because once you get paid, it's no longer a contract bet. You're just staying up on the bet. Well, the flat bet is, right? But you could have got, okay, yeah, hold on a second.
So more simply, it's well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm making a line bet without going through that come out roll.
That's right. Yeah, you're essentially going to the number. That's right.
With line and have the ability to add odds, but I'm skipping that advantage of this 7.
So you have the contract bet. That's all the casino cares about. So you have this $5 bet that's going on to the 8, but everything else is this is your money. Once I could take the odds down, you could take this back. You could just leave $5 here. You don't even have to have this in play. This is the contract bet.
Right.
Do you follow? Yep. This is essentially your put bet at this point. I mean, technically, if you took this come bet down, if you change the nature of this bet, if you increase it, which you're allowed to do, so let's say you're on the pass line, 0.5, okay, you have $5 in the line, and I've had many people where I try to help people, but some people don't want help, right? So let's say, for example, you have $5 on the line with 10 odds, okay, and you don't know any better. And you're thinking it's a double odds table, you don't know 3, 4, 5 times odds, right? So let's say, for example, you go like this. You add to this, and you double this up. Even though you could have just, on a 3, 4, 5 game, you have now created a put bet, essentially.
Right.
The same thing that I just did here on the 8. Every casino in the world wants you to do that. Why would not, I don't understand what the pushback is, or why people, because it's confusion. People don't understand. There's a couple other scenarios, by the way. I was just showing you this because so people can, so if you have 10 here, now, let's say, for example, you forgot to make a come bet, okay? Let's say you forgot to make a come bet. Let's say these are your bets, okay? And I go to pay you $17, and you say, hey, can you leave me up on my come bet? Oh, 100%, sir. Here, let me help you. You forgot to make your come bet? Absolutely. Here, let's restart. Put bet. That's a put bet. So even though dealers don't necessarily know that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. That is a put bet. Now, why does a put bet?
Why it's good is because I'm skipping the advantage. The only time I have the advantage is the first roll.
Exactly, the very first roll.
I'm making a bet on something that I'm more likely to lose.
That's right. And by making this bet over a place bet, so this is where it changed. So there's people who talk about what your return on the table is, right? The reason why come bets are considered sort of the mathematically correct way is because of this. Once you get on the bet, you're only getting even money for this, and then you're getting, you're getting 6 to 5 on here. So let's say I have $15 for the 8. This $15 8 also pays 17. If I have a place bet, okay, this isn't necessarily the correct unit. Actually, on a bird game, it used to be a correct unit because 12 and 3 are correct units. So it would pay $17.50 back in the day when it was 25-cent tail. But anyways, so let's say this pays 17, and guess what this pays? Also 17. Okay, well, here's the difference. I needed this number to hit twice. I would have been paid twice on this place bet already. I'd have made 17 twice. Right. Instead, I needed this, so the return on this investment is higher than the return on this investment, right? Because ultimately, I'm not making as much money. The only reason why I benefit is this for the come bet, right? Is for having that come bet and the chance of getting 7-11, which realistically, as a come better, if I have lots of come bets in action and a pass bet, do I really want a 7 to win this one come bet? Probably not, because that lowers the return on my investment. That's why it takes away from that opportunity. That's why people always ask me, why are you guys always pushing place bets? First of all, I'm not pushing place bets. I'm just explaining it as a point of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have opportunity on a guy's game and maximize your opportunity, place bets is a better way to go. So let's look at it. When do we put bet?
When does the numbers make sense?
When does the numbers make sense? Okay, so here, the best way to show this is just to work down the numbers, okay? So one casino here in town that has yet to reopen is Cromwell. They offered 100 times odds on dice, 100 times odds. Almost always makes sense if you have the money and you can afford. Because remember, 100 times odds, a $5 bet, you could take $500 odds. That's gonna get expensive quick.
I get comments a lot there in a lot of my videos. You should always take max odds. I'm like, why don't you head down to the Cromwell and you go take max odds every time? Like,
no, that's
it's
true.
It's great in theory,
yes,
but
it is. It doesn't always play out. That's why me personally, if I come in with a certain amount of money, I'm not a pass line bettor because I know as a dealer, a pass line. Once I have a pass line bet and I have a number, the best bet I can make in a casino anywhere, and that pays me exactly what it does, is the odds. So I have to be committed to max odds every time. I can't take single odds. I can't take just double odds. I have to take whatever the odds allow me because I know that's the best bet. That's how I push the advantage a little bit back in my favor. You follow? So I avoid it completely because, again, even if it's 10 times odds, that gets expensive quick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at my bankroll, my little bankroll. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just go down. Let's do a 3, 4, 5 table real quick, okay? So let's do a $5 10. Okay, so here I have 3 times odds, 3, 4, 5 times odds, okay? So I can take 20 here, 25, 25, and, okay, just like this, okay? All right.
Yeah.
So let's say also I have a $20 bet. And now let's say this is auto buy. Let's pretend that I'm at the good casino, competitive market, $20, or, just advantageous casino. All right, here I have $25 in action. That's the equivalent of a $25 place bet. Here I have 25 and 5, $30 place bet, okay? And then here, nice and easy, okay? So this 10 on a 3, 4, 5 is gonna pay $35. $35 for the 15 odds, $5 flat on the put bet. If this was a put bet, you see, I had no come bet coming. So here it is, I just have a come bet at odds. Okay, so we're assuming that these went, but if you could put to the number, you could say, put me on the 10, 5, and 15. Put me on the 9, 5 with 20 odds, 5 with max odds, all right? And some people know this all the way across. So if your casino allows for this, you'll know exactly how much money I have here. So I have $25 on the flat, 25, 50, 75, 110, $125 actually in action, so in play. And that would be $5 flat with max odds given the point of 5. Okay, so 15, 30, pays 5, right? Here I have a $20 10. $20 10 is going to pay 40 minus $1 VIG, or $39, right? So I'm going to get $39. So I actually make out better on the place bet. So there's really no point to actually going with a put bet, or you know what I'm saying? If I want, now I'm also going to get paid twice because I get the benefit of the thing. So that's on the 4 and 10 on a 3, 4, 5 table. Okay, let's go to the 9. Okay, 9 is a little different. So 20 pays 30 and 5, so I get $35 for this come bet, okay? And then $35 to the place bet, same thing, no real advantage. Again, on the 6 and 8, also, I get 25 gets 30, and the flat is $5, so this come bet pays 35, plus $30 8, same amount of money in play, gets 35. Why do I want to stay with, in this case, I always want place bets first because I could turn these off, on, these are optional bets. If I'm doing put bets, remember.
That's contract.
Contract bet. You lose this bet on a 7, you can't turn it off. You can take your odds down, your odds off, this type of thing. But this bet is out of play. You know what I mean? You have no control over the bet. So it doesn't make sense on a 3-4-5 game to ever put. You should just stick with straight place bets. Now, here's where it changes. Let's do a 10 times odds game. 10 times odds.
I have a theory about that. That's why that's kind of a standard.
Yeah.
Is because they've conditioned most players to pay the pass line come with odds maxed out 3-4-5, but yet a place bet will pay in some instances
has a
more
return.
Or even
That's right. You get a higher return.
That's kind of my theory of why Vegas does 3-4-5.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's just
so it works out perfectly. The other thing with 3-4-5 for dealer point of view, if you always take max odds, 7 times.
Yep,
7 times your flat is the total, always. So it works out nice with dealers. Okay, now let's go with a 10 times odds game, okay? Let's go 5 with 50 on the 10, okay? 5 with 50 on the 9, 5 with 50 on the 8. So I won't set up, because we know those are system numbers. We're working with 4, 10, 5, and 9, 6, and 8. Okay, so let's do a $55 buy bet, automatic buy, let's assume. $55 place bet on the 9, and God forbid a $55 8, okay? Because, crazy stuff going on. All right, so, or, anyways, that's fine. All right, so here we're gonna get paid $105, so 50 to 2-to-1 on the odds, true odds, and then a flat bet. Oh,
nice.
Nice payout there, huh? We'll go to that casino. All right, $105 for that one, okay? The buy bet is gonna pay me $110, right, minus $2. So $107, not so much on the buy, right? Because technically I'm already getting paid 2-to-1 and then minus a 5% VIG. So I'm not getting cut out by this the flat bet because I'm only getting even money here. I get to take the odds, basically the odds on the whole bet minus the commission. So here I'm not getting, but here's where it starts to make sense.
So even at 10 times odds, the 4
on
and 10.
On the 4 and 10, not so much, especially if they charge you the VIG up front. So let's say they charge you the VIG up front, okay? If they charge you the VIG up front, this bet's gonna cost $2. This $55 bet's gonna cost you $2, right? Then you're gonna pay another $2 when it gets paid. So you still end up $1. Yeah. So, I mean, even then it doesn't make sense. You should always go, okay. Now let's look at the 5 and 9, okay? Let's look at the 5 and 9. So here we have 75, so every 2 gets 3, plus the fat bet pays $80, okay? Or $77. 10 times odds, 5 and 9, start making sense. That's it. Start making sense here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we made a whole $3.
You're right.
But here's the thing, and this is, so here, contract bet. Mm-hmm. If we're on the come out roll, we can't turn these off. If we're someone that likes to follow me, I like to follow the shooter. If the shooter's hot and they're coming out making points, they're gonna make their 7s when this is off. I want my bets off. I let my place bets just go with the straight. That's just me personally. So if you want control over your bets, you lose control with this. Odds are off. Odds are on when this is on. Odds are off when this is off. Okay, but the flat bet's always working. You always have that flat bet at risk. Okay, so that's a 10 times table. We want a little bit. Okay, now let's go to the. Okay, let's go to the 8. 8. So we've got 50 pays 60 and 5, so it's $65. 54 pays 63 plus 1 is $64. So not so much.
Huh.
You know what I mean? So 5 and 9, opportunity there with put bets on 10 times table. But until you get to 10 times table, you're not even getting close. Now, but if we end up at the Cromwell, when it reopens obviously, or 100 times odds table.
So there's advantage if you're doing a regular come in line bet because you got that come out roll.
That's
but
right.
If you're doing puts versus.
Yeah, it doesn't, the math doesn't work out.
We're starting to make sense at 10 times.
10 times
on
odds,
just the 5
we're
and 9.
almost there. Yep. Now let's go to 100 times. $5 table, okay. Again, okay, 100 times odds. 500, 500, 500. Now you got to have some deep pockets, right?
Do they see that action much?
I've only seen this. I've only seen this a couple times.
They have 100 times odds.
There's another reason why people do puts, and I'll explain that in a minute. There's actually another secret, not secret, but another sort of little tidbit of why the few reasons I've seen put bets.
Okay.
So this is one reason to try to take advantage of it. So here we go. Okay. All right. So here we go. We got 5 on 5. Let's just keep it, organic. And God forbid you do a $505 rate. Holy crap. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna do $6 flat with 600 just so I can keep, everybody's good with the math.
Well, these high numbers, we'd probably be buying those, wouldn't we? Like the 5 anyway. But I mean, we can just keep it going place bets, but.
Yeah, so because let's not blow everybody's brain up right as they go. There's levels to this. There are levels. It's so funny.
You need to know the math if you're betting $505
Yeah, you should know. You should know the game if you're at this level, right? Hopefully.
I would say so.
Yeah. So and there's a lot of depth to this game. That's what makes it so exciting. There's so many ways to play and so many strategies. Fantastic. Okay, here we got on the 10. Let's start with the 10. Okay. So what are we looking at? We're looking at 2-to-1 on the 5. So we're looking at $1,005. Okay. That's what the put bet's going to pay. Okay. On the place bet, we're going to get $1,010. However, it's going to be minus a $26 vig. So let's do 475 here. Okay, that's the 25. Let's take $1 out of this one. See, we just broke it down. We did some easy math. And by the way, $100 times odds, we start making a little bit of money.
$26.
A whole $26, quite literally. Yeah. Wow. But $26, 26.
If you go green chip.
If you're 10 with 1,000, that could be a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then we're starting, because then that's $52, I think, double, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, something like that. All right, so let's move on to the 5 and 9. Now the 5 and 9 should be a nice one, right? Because that worked out at 10 times odds, so this should be good. Okay. So 5 there pays $750 for the odds. Whoop, wow. Apparently, okay, $750. And then 5, okay? $750, 5, okay, for the put bet. And the place bet's gonna pay 7. Nice, quite the upgrade. 50 to $48 you made on that one,
okay?
Right? Nice, that was a good one, okay? All right, so that's not bad. So that's where it starts making sense. Okay. Now let's go on to the 6 and 8, and this is where the 6 and 8 starts. I think it starts to deliver. If my math doesn't get screwy up here. Okay, so here we have 600 pays 720 and 6. So 6 pays 6 and then 120, so it pays 720. You have to trust me on some of these.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So and 6, so 726. So there you go, 726. Yep.
I'll trust you on that. Yep.
It's amazing how because I've actually seen this a bit. So you know what I mean. So I know these pretty much automatic.
All right.
Now 6 pays $707. So here I got $707. See? So you're making a little bit of money. So here, let's take out the 7 and the 7, and let's do this and this. So you're up $19 now at 100 times odds. $19. All right? Yeah. So what's the other reason that people make put bets? And I'll show you. This is the few times.
So our first lesson is 10 times odds minimum. And then
for the 5 and 9 for a couple bucks.
Yeah.
But you really need 100 times odds and the 4 and 10 almost never work out, really. Barely, a couple bucks, and then
so they're making sense. If you're betting that big,
if you're betting big, if you're betting 10 with 1,000, you probably should do put bets. If you don't care about leaving the flat bets, okay. So here's the next thing. Let's say I'm working a $1,000 table. I'm working a $1,000 table. A $1,000 table is any way to the number, unless you have a contract with the casino and they let you go higher. So by the way, you can go higher. Casinos will let you go higher. The table limit is for everybody but the VIP.
Okay.
If you're a VIP and you're like, you know what, I want new limits for me, you're gonna have to talk to the casino, and they might make the new limits available to you. So where you would be a contract player, if you came up to the game, you'd be like, listen, I can go to 5,000.
Some casino will, right?
Some casinos, not your casinos maybe not so much. You know what I mean? But there are casinos that you can have it for you could change the limits. So that's the thing. And by the way, if you end up being that kind of player, more than likely you're going to play on your own side or your own table. They're reserved for you. There's a lot of casinos that, especially like if you want to go a $500 minimum table, that's not a big deal that much in blackjack, $500. But a $500 minimum crap table is a lot of money. If you imagine going place bets across, it's 3,200 across.
Yeah.
Every roll of the dice. You know what I'm saying? That's big. All right. So the other thing I've experienced with put bets is, let's say I'm in a $1,000 game. I got a player who's just winning a boatload of money and wants to get. Now they can do 1,000. See, they could add this new bet. They could put another $2,000 in action on those numbers. You follow? Mm-hmm. So they put this money. So they're at max. They're already max place bet, but they want to increase their investment in the roll. You follow?
Yep.
So they've met table minimum, and now they want to go to the odds. They want to add, a put bet. So now they can go $3,200 any way to the number. So limits apply any way to the number. You follow? So like any way to the number, this is any way to the number. So those are the few. I've seen this more often than someone on a double odds table. So back when I worked a high limit double odds table, I saw a player on a $5,000 game who would get to $5,000 or $6,000 on the 6 and 8 actually, and they were just winning. So we had a guy up a couple $1 million and just literally want to just jugular action.
So that makes sense for the 6 and 8. You're maxed out on place. You're maxed out on put.
Now you can go big 6 and 8.
6 and 8 to get some more action.
Any way to the number. That's it. So that's it. It's any way to the number. It's not a collective. It's not a cumulative type thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So then they go. This guy would be like $5,000.
One use for the big 6 and 8.
And then the big 6 and 8 is losing it. All those people that love the big 6 and 8, there's a few people out there that just hate
for those people who are maxing out their place and putting bets.
Imagine that. Just have another $5,000 out there. Oof. All right. So there you go. So there's a quick lesson on puts, when to make them, and how the dealer works with it. Sound good?
Very rarely is it helpful for you guys.
It's not a bet. Like,
you're a big player.
And
you're at the Cromwell.
Or if you forget your come and you want to keep on the number, just that's a put bet. Just put me on there. That's all there is. All right. Good.